I feel slightly on the wonk. Hello, you lovely people. How are we? I hope we're all keeping well. I hope we're all keeping safe. So, as some of you may be aware, on Sunday, the 13th of June, I ran my very first and only half marathon as part of my training for the marathon, which I'll be running in April 2022 for the fantastic Make-A-Wish Foundation. So what I wanted to do today is just share some reflections, some lessons I learned in doing the half marathon, either for anyone who's thinking about doing a half marathon, for anyone who wants to know how my training's going, or for anyone who is just vaguely interested. Number one, when you first start the race, it feels like you're walking a Grand Prix that everyone else is running. Like you are being overtaken, like choom, 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 choom. The lovely Gary Grodaz, who I ran it with, was off. He was gone. And I think it's so easy to kind of be worried about that. And actually it was a big lesson for me ahead of London 2022. To just focus on what I'm doing, to just focus on my pace. I know how I need to do this, and just do what I gotta do. That's advice for life. Don't listen to the other people, just do you. Furthermore, I also learned that everyone has their very own styles of running. For example, the route was quite hilly. Thank you, St Albans. And so some people ran into the hill and like powered up it to then chill on the way down. That's what I did. Whereas some people were like, I'm gonna walk up the hill and then plow it on the way down. Everyone has their own style, everyone has their own way of doing it. And again, it was another lesson in just sticking with what I know, sticking with how I want to run it, what I needed in that moment, and doing that. On that, I have learned that music is very important for my ability to be able to run longer distances, but also my choice in music will dictate how well I do. And I'm glad I learned this in my training. So for example, I've learned that with longer distances, I can no longer run to the Hamilton soundtrack because it's too quick and it makes me run too fast. So I advise to listen to good music, but I also advise to listen to music that, is of the pace that you find manageable to run at. For me, it was the Revival Broadway cast recording of Carousel, followed by the recording of Andrew Lipper's Little Princess. Both awesome. Check them out. Thirdly, most importantly, it was a really, really hot day when I ran the half marathon, and water is so, so important. There were water stations. It was so well organized, but I still needed my own water and I actually still ran out. So I'm probably going to look into a way of carrying more water on me in addition to the water I'm going to get from the water stations when I do the actual marathon. Keep hydrated, people. Number 4, I had the joy to experience energy gels for the very first time. They were given out, I want to say it was our second water station for free, which was great. Thank you very much. And all I can describe them as is Lucasade jelly. Popped it in and felt like I could conquer the world. Also, for those of you that know me very well, I struggle with measurements, particularly miles converted into meters. And I realized, let me get this right, I've been training in kilometers, but the half marathon was marked out in miles. I got hella confused. Like it got to a point where I was like, I'm just gonna keep running and see what happens. But I would recommend if you are doing a race like that, and I will probably double check what the marathon markers are, just to figure out how many you got to do of whatever markers they're giving you so that you don't get too excited too soon or think you've got to go further than you actually have. Finally, and this I could talk about for hours, but a huge, huge thank you to anyone who has ever cheered on people in any race. My dad came up, I had great friends that came to support, and that was great. But actually, more than anything were the people that I had no idea who they were and that weren't stationed by a pub. They were stationed in the middle of nowhere. They got their chairs out and like, I start to cry every time I think about it. When you're pushing yourself, this is another life advice as well. When you're going through something tough, no matter, even if you volunteered to do it, to have people that you don't know just believing in you and cheering you on. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm under no misapprehension. Those people didn't know who I am. They won't see me again. They couldn't pick me out in a lineup. But I remember you all very clearly. You told me exactly what I needed to hear in that moment, which was that I could do it, and to dig deep and carry on. And I probably would have given up if it wasn't for you. So even if you have no intention of ever running a race, maybe think about lining the streets and cheering on the people that are, because it really, really means a lot. And to everyone who was in St Albans doing that, thank you so much. So that's it. That's some brain dumpy reflections on the St Albans Half Marathon. I had the best time. A huge thank you to all the organisers for all your work. It was organised immaculately. Particularly in COVID times, I felt extremely safe. I felt so well looked after and supported. So my advice is, if you are planning on running a half marathon, go do it, train hard, have the best time. As for me, it is time to get ready for the all-important London Marathon in April 2022. If you would like to support me in my Make-A-Wish Marathon fundraising extravaganza, then please head to the link in the bio for this video. So that's all from me. Stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So much love. Mwah!